Hello everyone, my name is Mariana Belmars, and today I'm presenting to you our group's work on our company and our GitHub wiki. If you see, the first homepage has an index, and let's jump to ethical business plan. Our company's name is Mindwell Technology, and our company is a tech company designed to bring mental health support to the workplace through AI-driven care. Our long-term goal aims to revolutionize how mental health support is delivered in workplace settings. So we use an AI conversational agent to support scalable, confidential, and always available support. Users can engage with a 24/7 chatbot that either offers self-help strategies or connects users to licensed therapists. And our system continuously improves through feedback from both users and providers. This data enhances the chatbot's ability to summarize user concerns, recommend appropriate providers, and maintain a high standard of conversation quality. Our idea was born from recognizing the gap in workplace mental health support, particularly during the pandemic and rise of remote work. As AI continues to grow in every sector, we saw a unique opportunity to combine responsible technology with critical mental health services. And Mindwell's vision, purpose, and mission stands for empathy, inclusivity, privacy, and collaboration. We aim to complement, not replace traditional therapy, and our mission is to offer mental health support that's secure, ethical, and evidence-based. In order to achieve this, we ask ourselves key questions. How do we maintain ethical AI that works across diverse populations? And can we deliver accurate provider recommendations without sacrificing privacy? Finally, how do we align profitability with user-centered design and care? These three guiding questions shape our approach to ethical business planning. They influence every major decisions we made. The result of this reflection is a framework of 4 OKRs, objectives and key results outlined in the next section. Each OKR is accompanied by specific metrics, experimentation methods, anticipated ethical issues, and detailed safeguards to ensure Mindwell's growth is responsible, inclusive, and aligned with our mission. So these 4 OKRs are shaping our 3 to 5 year roadmap. They're not just operational goals, they serve as ethical compasses for guiding our growth, ensuring our technology serves people responsibly. Most importantly, every OKR is accompanied by a thorough evaluation of potential ethical issues and clearly defined safeguards to mitigate any potential risks. This structured approach ensures that as we scale, we remain aligned with our core values of privacy, fairness, and clinical integrity. Our first OKR is improving chatbot screening quality. The objective here is to build a clinically sound screening process with therapist collaboration. And the key result is the chatbot summarizes user concerns clearly and recommends vetted providers based on need, emotion, and urgency. Our metrics and experiments utilize chatbot to provider matching accuracy. So we track whether the top 5 suggested matches include the provider a clinician would have selected. Summary quality, which is where providers rate the chatbot generated summary based on clarity, relevance, and completeness. And user satisfaction, where we ask the users to fill out a post-session survey. So some of the ethical issues of this include potential privacy violations if sensitive user data is improperly stored, accessed, or leaked. Algorithmic bias is another major concern where users feel underrepresented backgrounds may be characterized or matched with less suitable providers due to uneven training data, and misinterpreted summaries by the chatbot can delay or misguide care, especially for users in distress, eroding trust and diminishing care effectiveness. So in order to mitigate all of these potential ethical issues, Mindwell stores all user data in HIPAA-compliant cloud infrastructure with strict access controls and encryption. We use differential privacy to anonymize data during training and analysis, and our bias mitigation task force reviews system output to detect and correct disparities across demographics. Human-in-the-loop mechanisms ensure that complex or high-risk user data are reviewed by licensed mental health professionals to prevent chatbot overreach and ensure safety. Following our second OKRs, chatbot safety boundaries.
OKR2, Chatbot Safety for Mental Health Provider Matching. Objective: by engaging with experts in mental health, we should develop a set of boundaries where the chatbot should be able to ask screening questions without acting as an impromptu therapist. In order to be able to match the user with a suitable therapist, the chatbot would need to ask questions to determine the nature of the user's issues, but it shouldn't delve too deeply into the specifics where a licensed therapist would be more suitable. Key result: a chatbot, when put through a set of scenarios, is able to determine a suitable stopping point where it's attained the minimum amount of data to give a suitable recommendation for a therapist. Experiment: preliminary testing. Collect a sample of chatbot transcripts of a group of test users who would carry out a simulation, both scripted and unscripted scenarios, where they would role-play common scenarios that showcase various sources of stress and anxiety among working adults. Metrics: evaluate the chatbot's interaction with the user using the following. Was the chatbot able to determine an appropriate stopping point where it's attained the minimum amount of information for a suitable recommendation? Has the chatbot avoided asking overly specific questions that prompt user to divulge an inappropriate amount of information? Experiment: chatbot assessment. Collect a sample of transcripts from users to be graded by licensed practitioners, who will determine whether the conversations are considered to be appropriate for an interaction with a language model. Metrics: determine overall grade of number of inappropriate interactions in each sample as assessed by the experts. Ethical impacts: data handling. The user must be informed that their chat logs are being collected and how it is being handled by our business. Possible data breaches: any chat logs that are being stored can be subject to a possible data breach. Overstepping its boundaries: even if all the experiments are considered to be successful, there is still a non-zero chance of the chatbot overstepping its boundaries. Ethical safeguards. Disclaimers: in order to be transparent about the usage of their data, we will post disclaimers around the app that state that any personal information posted in the chat logs will be stored and they will only be seen by licensed practitioners. Opt out of data collection. Since we are a business stationed in California, we will comply with the California Consumer Privacy Act, which ensures the right to opt out of sharing personal information. Purging chat logs. In order to minimize the impact of any data breaches, we will purge all chat logs after a limited period of time. We could measure its effectiveness by keeping track of the number of chat logs we have purged. HIPAA compliant cloud provider. In order to lower the possibility of data breaches, we will be retaining our computing and storage in a cloud provider that is HIPAA compliant. Improving the chatbot. In order to minimize the number of cases where the chatbot oversteps its boundaries, we will work with licensed experts to include more scenarios.
This OKR is titled Patient Market Fit and User Growth. Our objective is to transform mental health support by making professional therapy more accessible through our AR-powered chatbot. Our key result would be to make 50,000 successful user-therapist connections within the first year by using AI-driven matchmaking, healthcare partnerships, and targeted outreach. To achieve 50,000 successful client connections, we will largely use ads. We will utilize paid promotions and direct user feedback to scale the company. These promotions will come in the form of contracts to post our company's ads on websites, and we will pay to create and air TV commercials displaying our products and reviews. Additionally, surveys will provide insight into the user experience and satisfaction. We will ask questions such as, were you satisfied with the process? What can we improve on to make your experience better next time? Did your doctor or therapist help solve the problem? These responses will allow us to make continuous improvements, ensuring our app gives the best possible results to all of its users. And to keep track of every user, we will keep records of everyone's name, address, date of birth, and other legal information, keep track of every completed session, keep track of the number of surveys completed, keep track of new users' signups on our app. Many ethical concerns will arise with the creation of this app, and key issues deal with privacy risks, AI biases in therapist matchmaking, misdiagnosis, and dependency on automated system. For example, a data breach or improper data handling can expose very sensitive patient information, leading to psychological harm and a lack of trust in our service. A real-world case highlighting the risk is Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, where users' data was harvested without consent and misused for political concerns. If our data is improperly stored and shared with third parties for marketing purposes, it will violate users' trust and ethical AI principle. All information sent and stored on our cloud should be private and could raise ethical concerns if we use that information and try to market those struggles to get people to relate. Another ethical issue is the AI therapist-driven matchmaking. If the chatbot's machine learning model is trained on biased data sets, it could recommend certain therapists over others, excluding a more qualified therapist for a specific situation. If our chatbot assigns therapists based on flawed algorithms, users may not get appropriate care. The last risk is an over-reliance on chatbot-generated advice, possibly leading to receiving false medical help. And the safeguards we put into place will be to have strong encryption and strict data access controls to protect sensitive user information. We'll work with cybersecurity experts, data privacy lawyers, healthcare IT professionals, ensure HIPAA compliance, and conduct regular security audits to limit data exposure. We will constantly monitor for security attacks and gather user feedbacks on data security to address AI bias in therapists. Matching, we will train AI models on diverse data sets to eliminate as much bias as we can. Additionally, we will prevent long wait times by adding a level of emergency feature that will prioritize patients who need the most immediate help. Measuring the effectiveness will involve tracking crisis escalation rates, response times, and analyzing incident reports. By creating and implementing these safeguards, we can ensure our chatbot remains safe, unbiased, and ethical tool for mental health support.
The last objective we want to share today centers on provider market fit and corporate customer development. In order to achieve this objective, the key results focus on providers and their clients. For each metro Mindwell activates, we seek to achieve a consistent weekly rate of booking for our engaged providers. And for each business customer, we seek to maintain availability of providers at peak times to meet their members' needs. To do this, we track with metrics weekly bookings per provider and seek to balance supply with demand. We run experiments ensuring a supply of appointments to engage providers with Mindwell. By managing provider churn, we are confident we can offer each business customer's members multiple providers to choose from. Operating a provider network has ethical risks. We maintain HIPAA-compliant patient privacy and manage quality of provider interactions with clients. We strive to balance the need for users to rate and give feedback with the legal risk of denying providers work. We strive to balance the ethical issues and offer a quality service to each side of the marketplace. Our customers are HR benefits managers. We offer the assurance of a regulated and compliant solution. This limits their financial risk in offering providers to members directly. We've put in place ethical safeguards. Our in-house clinical expert panel and advisory panel advise and consent on the product development. Through data controls and experiments, our data scientists work with oversight to improve and extend our ethical safeguards. This assures Mindwell offers responsive and ethical care.
To understand how these ethical commitments are embedded in every aspect of our approach, it's important to look at the core values that shape our decisions and define our company culture. So Mindwell Technologies is guided by core values rooted in empathy, innovation, and ethical responsibility. We aim to lead with heart, building intentional AI solutions that prioritize trust, transparency, and transformative healthcare. Privacy and security are paramount, and they're supported by HIPAA compliance and zero retention policy. Transparency is key with clear communication about data usage and model functionality. We embrace continuous improvement using feedback loops to refine systems in alignment with user needs and institutional ethics. These core values are more than ideals, they're the foundation for how we approach every decision at Mindwell. And our motivation here stems from a deep commitment to solving real-world challenges with ethical, human-centered AI. We are driven by the belief that everyone deserves to feel heard, supported, and connected to meaningful care, especially in high-stress work environments where mental health support is often stigmatized or inaccessible. At the same time, we're grounded by caution. We understand the risk of getting it wrong. Privacy breaches, misinterpreted user intent, or biased AI responses have serious consequences in mental health care. These fuels our commitment to transparency, diversity in training data, clinical oversight, and user-first mindset. At our company, our culture summary is compassionate AI built for human wellness. Rooted in our core values and driven by our mission, Mindwell's culture embodies the belief that compassionate AI can and should be built for human wellness. To turn this culture into action, we've established a comprehensive ethics policy that translates our values into concrete practices and protections. Mindwell is grounded in a rigorous ethics policy that ensures our AI mental health platform is safe, fair, transparent, and aligned with best clinical practices. We built our platform around 6 key pillars: privacy and data ownership, where the user data always belongs to the user; algorithmic fairness and bias mitigation, where our training data is diverse, and we use adversarial testing to ensure fair, inclusive provider matching. Transparency and explainability, where we clearly inform users when generative AI is operating and how recommendations are made. Clinical validation and human oversight. High-risk cases are reviewed by licensed clinicians, and we integrate feedback from mental health professionals to continuously improve the chatbot's screening process. Corporate integrity, we never sell our data. And regulatory compliance. Mindwell complies with HIPAA, GDPR, and regularly undergoes third-party safety validation, including security audits and penetration testing every 6 months. And in order to achieve our strict ethics, we've employed the following renowned experts guiding Mindwell's ethical integrity. Dr. Insel, a former director of the National Institute of Mental Health, ensures our tools align with psychiatric standards in clinical oversight. Dr. Latanya Sweeney, a pioneer in data privacy and algorithmic accountability, who helps protect sensitive mental health data and design transparent, bias-resistant systems. And finally, Joy Buolamwini, the founder of Algorithmic Justice League, who brings critical insight into algorithmic fairness, advising us on equitable AI development across cultures and identities. Together, these experts help Mindwell build a trustworthy, inclusive, and clinically sound AI platform, ensuring our innovations respect the dignity, privacy, and needs of the user. So thank you again for watching our detailed walkthrough of Mindwell Technologies' ethical business plan. From AI fairness to clinical integrity, every aspect of our platform is designed with care. We believe technology should elevate, not replace human wellness. Be sure to visit our GitHub wiki for documentation and leave any comments or questions in the video description. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.